society which has been going on for about 2,000 years. And we've reached levels of prosperity which carry the seeds of disruption.
Have you ever wondered what the future of our society looks like? As we journey into the heart of the 21st century, we find ourselves grappling with this question more often than not. Picture this. A team of researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology back in the 1970s developed a method to predict societal collapse. Yes, you heard that right, a societal collapse. Their forecast around the year 2040. So, what led them to this rather daunting prediction? The answer lies in two major elements: limited natural resources and economic challenges. Our world, as we know it, is built on the foundation of natural resources. These resources, however, are not infinite. They are being depleted at an alarming rate, faster than they can replenish themselves. This imbalance, coupled with the ever-increasing demands of a growing population, spells a recipe for disaster. Then we have the economic challenges. Our global economic structure is a complex web of interconnectivity. It's a delicate balance that can be easily tipped. The researchers at MIT pointed out that this balance could be disrupted by numerous factors, creating a domino effect that could lead to societal collapse. The Club of Rome's system dynamics model supported this prediction. Their model highlighted the potential for ecological and economic collapse, painting a grim picture of our future. More recently, Gaia Harrington, a sustainability and dynamic system analyst, updated this prediction. According to her, we could see a rapid decline in population and resources by the end of this century. This raises the question: is our future set in stone? Is there a countdown running, leading towards an inevitable collapse? Or can we change our course? The thought is indeed unsettling, but it also serves as a wake-up call. It's a call to action, a call to reassess, and a call to change. Is the end truly near, or can we change our course? In the 1970s, MIT scientists developed a unique method to predict societal collapse. This wasn't your run-of-the-mill forecast. It was a sophisticated model that took into account numerous factors and variables. And who was behind this groundbreaking work? None other than the Club of Rome. The Club of Rome, a global think tank, employed a pioneering approach known as system dynamics. This model uses feedback loops and time delays to understand the behavior of complex systems over time. It's like painting a picture of the future with mathematics, and the canvas was our society. They designed the model to simulate how population growth and natural resource use would interact with the economic system. It examined variables such as population, industrial output, pollution, and resource depletion. By crunching these numbers, the model could predict how these factors would affect each other and ultimately the stability of society. Their model was more than just a mathematical exercise though. It was a mirror reflecting our world back to us, showing the consequences of our actions. It was a warning, a call to action, a chance to change course before it was too late. The conclusions drawn from this model were far from comforting. The model suggested that if the world continued on its current path, without significant changes in our behavior, we would exhaust our natural resources. This depletion in turn would lead to economic challenges, a decline in industrial output, and ultimately societal collapse. But the most startling part, the timeline. According to their model, if society continues on its current trajectory, we could see this collapse around the year 2040. Yes, you heard that right. In less than 20 years, we could be facing a world vastly different from the one we know today. their forecast was stark: societal collapse around 2040. This was the stark warning that emerged from the Club of Rome's system dynamics model. The future, as predicted by this model, is not set in stone, but it's a future we need to take seriously. Because the only thing scarier than this prediction is the thought of it coming true. What factors could lead to such a catastrophic prediction? Well, the model developed by MIT scientists in the 1970s pointed towards two key factors: the limitation of natural resources and economic challenges. Let's start with natural resources. These are the backbone of our society, fueling everything from our industries to our homes. Yet they are finite. Our planet has a set amount of coal, oil, water, and other essential resources. As our population grows and our demands increase, these resources are being depleted at an alarming rate. Without a balance between consumption and conservation, we could be heading towards a resource crisis. Now, on to the economic challenges. Our global economy is a complex web of transactions and interactions. It's a system that thrives on growth. However, this growth is often tied to resource consumption. As resources become scarce, sustaining this growth becomes a Herculean task. Rising prices, unemployment, and social unrest are just a few of the potential outcomes of this resource economy paradox. Perhaps the most important takeaway here is the interconnectedness of these factors. They don't exist in isolation. The depletion of natural resources fuels economic challenges, which in turn exacerbates resource depletion. It's a vicious cycle, a feedback loop if you will, and it's not just about resources and economy. The model also suggests other interrelated factors such as pollution, food production, and population growth. All these elements combined, according to the model, could lead us towards societal collapse. But it's important to remember, this is a prediction, a potential future based on certain assumptions. It's not set in stone. We have the power to change the course of this narrative. These factors, if not addressed, could set us on a path towards collapse. But the next question is, can we change this trajectory? Stick around to find out. Recently, Gaia Harrington gave this model a second look, and what she found is both fascinating and a tad bit unsettling. Harrington, a sustainability and dynamic system analyst, took it upon herself to re-examine the predictions made by the brilliant minds at MIT in the 1970s. She delved into the depths of this decades-old study, scrutinizing the data with fresh eyes and a modern understanding of our world's complex systems. Harrington didn't just revisit the old model though. She introduced new data and applied advanced methodologies to bring the model up to speed with the 21st century. What she found was a striking affirmation of the initial predictions. The updated model suggests that society is indeed on track for collapse around the year 2040, just as the original study had predicted. But the details, my friends, are where things get especially interesting. According to Harrington's study, we can expect a rapid decline in the world's population and resources before the end of this century. This is not a slow, gradual descent, but a steep, sudden fall. These findings underscore the urgency of the challenges we face and the need for immediate action. So, what's driving this impending collapse? The same factors that were identified in the initial study: limited natural resources and economic challenges. These are not problems that have sprung up overnight. Rather, they are deeply ingrained in our society, and tackling them will require a fundamental shift in how we live and operate. But it's not all doom and gloom. Harrington's study also highlights the potential for humans to change the trajectory. The key lies in our ability to develop sustainable technologies and foster human development in a way that respects the limits of our planet. The update paints an even more alarming picture, but remember, it is a picture of a future that can still be changed. It's a wake-up call, a reminder that we need to take action now if we want to ensure a sustainable future for generations to come. The updated model predicts a rapid decline in population and resources by the end of the century. As we delve into this prediction, it's crucial to understand the implications of such a rapid decline. Imagine what a world with fewer resources and less population would look like. This isn't just about fewer people, but also about diminished resources that we rely on for survival. Food, water, energy, and even breathable air could all become scarce. The more we dig into the planet's reserves, the less there is for future generations. The consequences could be dire. Consider the economy. With fewer resources, the cost of living could skyrocket. The value of money could decline, leading to inflation. And with fewer people, there would be less demand for goods and services, potentially leading to economic stagnation or even recession. On a more personal level, the decline in population could disrupt our social fabric. We could see a shift in our demographics, with an aging population outnumbering the young. This could put immense pressure on our healthcare and social security systems. What about our environment? With a rapid decline in resources, our world could face an ecological collapse. We could see a loss of biodiversity, with many species going extinct. Our forests, oceans, and other ecosystems could be severely damaged, leading to an environment that is less resilient and less able to support life. But let's not forget about the potential political implications. As resources become scarce, competition for those resources could lead to conflict. Countries could go to war over water, oil, or other valuable commodities. Inequality could rise, leading to social unrest and political instability. In short, a rapid decline in population and resources could result in a world that is less prosperous, less stable, and less habitable. It's a bleak picture indeed, but it's not a foregone conclusion. As we'll discuss in the next section, there are steps we can take to avert this potential catastrophe. This rapid decline could be catastrophic, but there might be a way out. Our survival may depend on sustainable technologies and human development. Have you ever thought about that? In a world where resources are dwindling and the population is on a steady rise, the need for sustainable technologies cannot be overstated. Sustainable technologies, in essence, are tools designed to utilize resources in a way that meets our present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own. They encompass a broad spectrum, from renewable energy sources to waste management systems, efficient transportation, and even sustainable agriculture. Imagine harnessing the power of the sun, wind, and water to fuel our homes and industries, or developing agricultural practices that not only feed billions but also enrich the soil and promote biodiversity. Think about the potential of recycling and waste management systems that turn trash into treasure, or transportation systems that move swiftly across vast distances with minimal carbon footprint. These technologies are not just figments of our imagination. They are real, tangible solutions that are within our reach, and they hold the key to averting the societal collapse predicted by those MIT scientists. But it's not just about the technology. Equally important is the role of human development. This refers to the process of enlarging people's freedoms and improving their well-being through education, health, and decent standard of living. When people are educated, healthy, and have the resources they need to thrive, they are more likely to make sustainable choices. They are more likely to innovate, to adapt, to build societies that are resilient and sustainable. So, as we stare down the barrel of a future marked by limited resources and economic challenges, let's not forget our greatest resource, our ability to innovate, to learn, to adapt. Let's invest in sustainable technologies and human development. Let's create a future where society doesn't just survive, but thrives. Sustainable technologies and human development could be our lifeline. They offer us a chance to rewrite our future, to turn the tide, to ensure that the world of 2040 and beyond is one of abundance, not scarcity, one of progress, not collapse. Let's seize that chance. We have the power to change the course of our future. As we dive deeper into the 21st century, our ability to shape the future is more significant than ever. The predictions of societal collapse, as daunting as they may seem, are not inevitable prophecies but rather urgent calls to action. They serve as a grim reminder of the consequences we face if we continue to ignore the pressing issues of our time. The steps we need to take to avert the impending collapse are clear. We must embrace sustainable technologies and prioritize human development. It's not merely about switching to renewable energy sources or recycling more. It's about a fundamental shift in our attitudes and behaviors. On an individual level, each of us can contribute to this change. By making more environmentally conscious decisions in our daily lives, we can reduce our ecological footprint. And collectively, as a society, we need to rethink our economic systems, our consumption patterns, and our relationship with the environment. Change is never easy. It requires courage, commitment, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. But we've seen throughout history that societal change is possible. It's how societies evolve, adapt, and thrive. It's how we've overcome past challenges, and it's how we'll overcome future ones. The power of change is in our hands. It's in the choices we make, the actions we take, and the values we uphold. It's in the innovations we create, the policies we implement, and the future we envision. So, let's not see the predictions of societal collapse as a death sentence, but as a wake-up call. Let's see them as a challenge to rise to, an opportunity to shape a sustainable and equitable future for all. Remember, we don't have to be passive spectators in the face of impending doom. We can be active participants in creating a future we want to live in. The future is not set in stone. We have the power to change it. The prediction of societal collapse is a wake-up call. In our exploration today, we've delved into the science behind MIT's forecast foreseeing a societal collapse around 2040. This prediction, rooted in the 70s, was based on limited natural resources and economic challenges. With the Club of Rome's system dynamics model echoing the same concerns, we've seen how recent updates by Gaia Harrington suggest a rapid decline in population and resources by the end of the century. These revelations underscore the urgency of our situation. Averting societal collapse isn't a monumental task reserved for the few, but a collective responsibility. The need for sustainable technologies and human development is now more pressing than ever. These aren't just buzzwords. They are the keys to our survival. By rethinking our approach to consumption, prioritizing sustainable development, and harnessing the power of innovative technologies, we can change the trajectory. The clock is ticking, but we still have time to change our course and secure a sustainable future.